guys are not in the mastermind and you were on this call, it was phenomenal. I feel like I actually learned more than anybody else there, um, which is which is awesome. Super pumped to get into this one today. I can see we've already got a bunch of people coming in here. For those of you guys who are watching live, we're going to have the comments open on Riverside. So those of you guys who have the Riverside link, awesome. For those of you guys who are on other platforms, we might be able to, sometimes we can see the comments that come in today. Brian, do you want to get the slides up for today? Super excited for this one today specifically. Brian, I'll just kind of give the overview once you get the slides up, if you're able to, and we will go through. This is a really interesting topic today specifically. Brian, you actually stepped in. I was going to do something else. Do you want to explain why the reasoning behind why we decided to do this one today?
Yes. So specifically today, we're going to be talking about what I affectionately call jailbreaking out of TikTok Shop. We talk a lot about our blitzes and everything that has to go into it, from creator prep to the briefing to make sure that your store is optimized, that everything has like the extra sparkle on it, we'll say. But really being able to launch an effective blitz comes down to, can you effectively run it post blitz? Is that content going to be able to be amplified by ads? Are you going to have the visibility on the channel? And that comes down in large part to your shop score. So we're going to be talking about how to make sure that you have a solid shop score, as well as what to do if you're currently in TikTok jail, which means you either don't have a shop score because you're a brand new brand, or you've had a shop score and through various levers being pulled on the back end, it has declined, which means you're then put in TikTok jail. So I am going to share my screen here. My internet is fighting my screen share right now, so please bear with me.
No problem. Worst case, I can do it on this side too. For those of you guys who, so we kind of have two different calls. So once every 2 weeks we have, and we're actually going to separate them out so that they're not right back to back with each other. So if you guys are actually part of the mastermind, those are calls where we go back and forth, and that's on Google Meet. Those calls are 9 o'clock every 2 weeks, 9 o'clock Pacific every 2 weeks. Sarah, sorry that you weren't on there. We'll make sure you guys should be, if you are a part of the actual mastermind group, you should have gotten notifications on Slack about that with that call. So Kai will make sure that if you are a part of that, that you are in there. Make sure that you guys join the Slack channel if you're a part of there. Previous school, no, we made a switch over, just so everyone knows, from previous school level to being way higher touch with the mastermind. So those of you guys who are in school, you can keep your membership, or you can upgrade to the new one. And the new one will have a lot more high touch. Brock and Parker are also in that one as well. So these are our webinars, workshops that we put on once every 2 weeks as well, that are sort of supplemental to all of that. So just so everyone kind of has an idea of that. And I'll make sure to post that in school so you guys have the ability to do that as well. Awesome. Brian, I will leave it to you.
Awesome, thank you. And we got the screen share working. While I'm speaking, please let me know if there's any feedback coming through my mic. I have my heater turned off, but on the last call it was mentioned that my mic was coming in a little bit hot, so I will mute myself when I'm not speaking. Jordan loves to also let me know when he can hear my keyboard or we'll call it my heater under my desk here. But getting out of TikTok jail. So again, I like calling it jailbreaking, but this is incredibly crucial, and it's often something that comes as a surprise to brands. You have your creators lined up, they have samples, they're making content, you're prepping your blitz, you're full steam ahead, and then your shop score plummets. You lose access to your affiliate center, you lose access to being able to run your new content coming from your creators through GMV Max, and it is terrifying. You don't want to push off your blitz. There is a way around it. So let's get straight into it. So the shop performance score, or SPS as we like to shorten it to, is the gatekeeper to your traffic and your performance. So we like to think of it as the algorithmic filter, if you will. It's going to determine your shop's destiny. Like ultimately, are you going to be successful on this platform, especially in that first crucial 30 to 45 days. So it's going to really dictate your access and visibility across the channel in a number of different ways. The reality, and this is something that I stress to all brands, doesn't matter if you're established or cold start, if you have a low score, it is your number one priority. That needs to be something that needs to be fixed and fixed very, very quickly so you can actually optimize and grow and scale. The goal is to move from that restricted or low score number that you may have to above a 4.5 to 5. The score rating is from 0 to 5. So the closer you get to that magic 5, the better off you'll be and the more access that you will have through TikTok Shop. I will mention this as well. If you are a brand that has a rep, your rep is going to be able to help you get out of this sort of jail period faster. So definitely lean on them. If you're a brand without a rep, this is going to be the playbook that you really want to pay attention to. And Jordan, feel free to jump in anytime you want to add some color as well.
I think the biggest thing, guys, that I want everybody to know is like this really matters. This is one of those things. The reason I told Brian, I don't know if we should do this one or not, is just because it's not that sexy, right? The issue is this is the sort of like make or break between, you know, creators wanting to work with you, your store actually like getting traffic, even like costs. Like it's a really big deal. And you can do a lot about it, which is where we're going to get into that. Ed actually asks, does the D2C verification help with getting out of probationary jail? If you have $1 million of revenue on another channel, apparently this unlocks something. That does not unlock anything to do with your shop score. What that helps you do is get more access through TikTok. So we actually have we have some certain levers that we can pull with brands that are bound to us at Social Commerce Club. That's a really cool thing because they're actually able to unlock unlock some certain like white glove onboarding, which is really nice, and white glove support. So that's one of the things that's very, very interesting about the position that we're in. Now that right now is actually for brands 10 million and above, the white glove support. But Ed, if you reach out and I will see if I can get you some other support in there. I think that's a good, we'll see if we can get you some. There was a previous program, and TikTok continues to change their programs up. There was a previous program that helps unlock some more support. So just, yeah, and totally get it, Ed. Like, I know you're doing like tons of revenue over on Amazon, and then you come over to TikTok Shop and it's like, no, I swear, I'm a big business. I'm doing a lot of stuff. I totally get it. Brian, I'll go back to you.
Awesome, yes. So knowing your position, very, very crucial to know and check on a daily basis what your shop score is. Why I say on a daily basis is it can fluctuate and fluctuate quickly. We have plenty of clients that are large brands. They're doing a ton of traffic, ton of sales already on TikTok Shop as well as off platform. They will have a very healthy shop score leaving end of business on a Friday, and then we get a message on Saturday that it's plummeted below a 2 because they had a single negative review or a single order that went out late, or any manner of the above can have a severe impact. And then suddenly come Monday morning, it's all hands on deck to get that shop score back up. Because while one negative impact can have a severe, or one sale, I have a bit of a migraine, so you'll have to bear with me here a little bit. One negative review, one late piece of shipping can have a detrimental effect. You're going to lose multiple points. So what you want to do, understand where you are and monitor it. Make sure you have the levers in place, you have the processes to make sure that that is just a part of your daily task list, something that our team does multiple times a day because of this reason. So the gold standard, starting at the top, 4.5 to a 5. This is excellent. This is going to open a lot of doors from visibility to advanced promotional methods. This has all of the benefits you're going to want. So this is really the gold standard and where you want to end up. the safe zone, and this is where most brands need to be falling within in order to successfully launch a blitz. It's going to be 3.5 to a 4.4. Again, the higher you can go, push that to the max. But this is great. This is going to make you eligible for campaigns. You're going to have your affiliate tools available to you, and you're going to have that improved visibility, and you're going to be able to use that creator content that you've worked hard and spent a lot of money on the sampling front to get your hands on. You're going to be able to leverage that in your GMV Max campaigns. The danger zone is anything under that 3.5. If you're under that, this presentation is for you, but you're going to have restricted access. You're not going to have access to your affiliate center, which means you're not going to be able to continue sampling. You're not going to be able to access the content that your creators are generating for you, and you're going to want to fix that as soon as possible. So we talked about that 4.5 to 5-star status. There are some additional rewards, we'll say, for hitting that sort of gold standard. So this is going to come with a couple of different things. The Star Seller Badge. This does a number of things to both consumers as well as creators. It's going to signal that you're reliable, that you can be trusted, and that I should buy from you for a reason. So that's sort of the icing on the cake. But like
especially, Brian, I just wanted to step in here too. Like, this is one of those really big differentiators when people are coming on the platform, like very similar to, it's hard to think of the Amazon equivalent of this, but like when, especially like, I don't know if you guys have been on Amazon World for a long time or even bought on Amazon for a long time, but like you used to be like kind of sketched out when you would buy things, right? Like, is this a good seller or not? TikTok Shop has been in that same phase. Not that you're going to receive the product or not, but like, you know, if you're going to buy a boat, you know, is it actually a boat or is it a toy boat, right? Like that's the really big thing. And what this does when you actually hit these standards is it allows for it's just much better for you. And Brian, I'm assuming we're going to get into like exactly how we do this, right? Like how we get to this level, because that's the really exciting part, is like, you are not at the whims of TikTok Shop, right? Like you actually have the ability to be able to do something about this. So sorry, Brian, keep going.
No, absolutely. And don't worry, we are getting to the meat and potatoes. Really just want to set this up for anyone that's launching with a cold start brand, anyone that's listening to like our strategy, implementing your own blitz. Foundationals, while less sexy, very important. We talked about the actually playing into the algorithm as well earlier. So you want your products to appear more frequently in the ranking. This is just obviously higher you are, the more people that you're going to be able to get in front of. The marketing suite, so incredibly important, especially in those early days. A lot of obviously the action that you see in the blitz and those initial sales are going to be fueled from ads. We've talked about that in the past, and this is going to continue being a very high priority for you. The affiliate network, if you can't reach out to creators, you can't send samples, you're not going to have content, you're not going to have sales. This is like the number one issue that I would flag as being like the negative that comes with having a low shop score. You need to have access to that, or else you just have the handcuffs on and you're not going to go anywhere. And then cash flow, so potential for faster settlements. I would list this at the bottom of the priority pile, to be completely honest. So a couple of things, if you are working with a rep, to get out of, we'll call it this TikTok jail, previous recommendations, and we're still actually getting this recommendation from certain TikTok reps, is that you actually have to hit a $2,000 GMV threshold. This is actually an outdated metric. What we're seeing on a daily basis with our clients now is that it's actually 30 delivered orders. So this is the trigger to get your SPS over that line, and it happens once that order is delivered, not when it is shipped. Samples do not count. It has to be actual orders. And this is something that we see, again, on a daily basis. So if you're looking and you're pushing and you're saying, hey, I'm not at that $2,000 threshold yet, don't worry about that, especially if you have a lower order value product. You might have to send out 100 orders in order to get to that 2K. 30 orders, that needs to be the target. Jordan, you look like you wanted to say something.
I don't. Continue.
Perfect. So this is going to be the first lever that we pull. And this is, Ed, you mentioned the cold start paradox here. Sort of ties in with your question about like, hey, I'm capped. You launch a new shop, you have zero credibility, no review, no sales. This is going to lead to low visibility, algorithms ignoring you, creators don't care about your shop, they don't want to work with you. You can't get to that 30 orders because you're unable to get in front of people, and it's just this vicious cycle. So how do we get those first 30 orders? And how do we ensure that they're coming through, boosting that credibility for both consumers as well as creators, and get the door unlocked for you?
How?
How? So there's a couple of different methods. I'm going to talk you through the first one that we use, again, on a daily basis with new clients, as well as existing clients that get themselves into a low shop score. Again, we'll talk about the reasons behind that. The number one recommendation that I have, this is a group that we work with personally, which is Sellico, using their Launchpad. So Sellico, anyone on the Amazon side, probably familiar with them, where they have consumers, real people who purchase product to leave review on Amazon. They have a very similar relationship and service for TikTok Shop, and they are actually approved for use from TikTok Shop, which is huge. This is not sketchy. This is not finding a way around the algorithm. You will not.
There's like no gray in this at all. I just want to let everybody know. Like when we first heard about it, we were like, "Are you sure?" And then we were hearing about it straight from TikTok Shop themselves. It is part of exactly what they want on the platform, just so everybody understands.
Yes. So where this comes in is there's going to be some added benefit of the reviews, but the main purpose of Sellico, using it before a blitz, using it to jailbreak your shop, is going to be getting to those 30 orders. So they actually have a 50 order minimum. So you are going to have a little bit of a buffer there, which is obviously great for you. So what is it? Really, it's just a turnkey service where you pony up for the price of your product. They find consumers, people that they are trusted, verified, they work with. They have these consumers place orders on your behalf through your shop. So it is going to show up on your shop as verified purchases. You're going to have the GMV. You're also going to have the added benefit of between 40 and 60% of these consumers will leave real reviews. So you're going to have GMV, you're going to have reviews, you're going to have credibility, and you're going to have your 30 orders delivered. They do this within a 10-day period. So functionally, within 10 to 14 days, you are going to get out of shop prison. And I know there's a couple of questions coming in. I have my window over my chat. So
yeah, I'll let you know if there's some questions coming in, Brian. The biggest thing here is we haven't found a better method that isn't super manual that Sellico can't do. And even for the cost of it, like I wish that this was our service. Maybe it should be, because it just, I mean, they have all of the infrastructure built out for this, but like it is such a no-brainer for us to do this right at the beginning with any brand, because it gets through that level. Now, what I want to make sure everyone understands is that this is the most important time for you, right? This is like by far the most important time for you when it comes to your shop score. Like, make sure that this foundation is set during this time, that you're getting your orders out really fast, that you're doing everything possibly that you can. Sean asks an interesting question. Is there value to using a platform like Sellico if I'm already launched to reinforce my position? For example, to get more positive reviews. Brian, you want to take that one?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're looking for reviews, yes, that is an added benefit. I think, like, first and foremost, if you're going to use a platform like this, use their Launchpad. It's going to be for the orders first, which is naturally going to put you in a position where the people buying it are going to leave reviews. It's not 100% guaranteed that every single person will. What we see is about 40 to 60%. So you can work with Sellico to increase these numbers, and they are highly incentivizing the consumers that they work with to leave a review. So you are naturally going to have those trickle over. I would say the larger benefit, even if you're already established, is you're probably also going to have creators that Maybe you're working with enough, maybe you're not. So depending on your situation, it is going to give you a better shop outlook to creators. You're going to have more creators that want to work with you because they're not going to know that your GMV was effectively purchased, for lack of a better phrase, through Celico. They're not going to see that. They're going to see that you have a higher influx of orders coming through, higher influx of GMV. So you're going to have trust on that front. And then consumers as well are going to see, again, those spillover reviews. So it is helpful. It just depends on what you're looking to get from it and what the cost of it is. So that way you can kind of make a decision based off the other factors in your shop.
Awesome. Somebody's wondering the cost of Celico. Do you know that off the top of your head, Brian? I don't have those numbers in front of me.
I do. So they do charge a little bit more for supplement brands. And now I will be fully transparent. We are partnered with Celico, so we get better prices than others if you just approach them yourself. However, on average, you're going to be paying between $8 and $8.50 per product sent. So that is the cost that Celico charges you. Up front, you are going to have to pay for the price of the product as listed on your shop. However, this is an upfront cost, but you do get this back, at least most of it back, through the GMV that's going to come from your shop. So you will get that back minus the cost of shipping and the $8 to $8.50 per sample.
Yeah. Luis or Lewis, sorry, not sure how to pronounce that. Just dropped in the link for the calculator to see what it would cost. In my mind, if you're going to go hard on the platform this year, absolutely. Sorry, did you answer that question from Sean Brown? They already have 4.9 and have lots of reviews, but they want to go the extra mile.
So I would ask what you want to go the extra mile on. So if you have lots of reviews, you're probably not going to use it for reviews. If you have a 4.9, it's a solid shop score. But if you have that and you don't have a high volume of GMV and you're not like attracting creators, then yes, this can be a wonderful way to get them interested and show that you have that GMV on the shop.
Yeah, great. I'm just going to respond to Hassan here quickly. I think on YouTube, you can DM me on X or LinkedIn and figure that out. This probably isn't for a call like this, so we'll chat about that there. All right, Brian, I'll let you go on to the next.
Awesome.
Any other Celico questions while we're on here of stuff that we know? I'm going to go to Shelby's question here quickly, Brian. We'll see if we can answer this here. I've got a shop that was previously restricted on the affiliate side due to shop score. All products now show an NRR policy violation warning in the affiliate center. If I run a Celico campaign, should I include all products or will running it on one remove the warning? Ooh, good question. Do you know that answer, Brian?
Ooh, that's a good question. I hate using the word it depends. I would have to see specifically what type of products you're selling. Is it on every single one? Is it on a specific product? Everything specifically with TikTok Shop, everything is run by AI. So if you have a rep, reach out to them. What I would suggest is running Celico for one product first. Keep in mind that they have a 50 order minimum. So if you have, 10 products that you need to get out of Shop Jail and you're worried about every single one, you would have to run 50 units of each. I recommend focusing on your top seller, the one that you're going to want in front of creators, have the most GMV, has the highest conversion rate for you, and it's sort of your star hero product. Focus on that one first. And I would just need to see like the specific violation that you're actually getting in shop. So I don't want to give you the wrong answer there, Shelby. But it's worth doing this for one product first.
Awesome. That's great.
Awesome. So
sorry, this is one other. This is actually a really good question. Sorry, in this one specifically, Brywin. I'm so glad to have Brywin on these, by the way. So each product needs 30. Each product needs 30 orders to get out of TikTok Shop Jail.
So happy to clarify this. So Shelby's question was specifically she has violations on specific products, which is likely going to be then connected to her being in TikTok Shop jail with a low score. If you have a low shop score, no, you don't need 30 orders per product. That one is a bit of a special case where there's some additional violations in place, but in total, you just need 30 orders to show that there's movement. You don't need it for every single product. If you want to run this for multiple products because you're trying to push multiple products to creators and you're trying to demonstrate, obviously, that like, hey, this product that we just launched is worth your time and effort. You want to show that it has GMV attached to that product. This can be a great tool for that. If you want to get the added bonus of reviews attached to those products, especially if they're new, this is a great way to go about that.
Yeah. We've got some great questions that are not to do with this stuff. We're going to go through those ones at the end, just so we can stay on the shop score, but we'll get back to some of these other questions that are on the side here. Lots of questions coming in, so.
Yes. So I already mentioned this, but Celico campaigns on average generate 40 to 60% reviews on the products. So again, this is going to solve your trust issues. In terms of like where you're going to sit, that's going to likely be connected to the type of product that you're working with. Products that have, supplements, for instance, generally on average aren't going to have the same level of reviews as products that are a little bit more accessible and don't come with the claims, such as like clothing or shoes. Those are the types of products that people really love to review. It's easy and they don't have to take a product for 6 weeks to know if it works.
Awesome.
Authentic behavior. To every single person outside of you and your team, these sales are 100% and authentic. They're coming from real people. No one is going to know that you use Celico to get them. So like your creators are going to be excited about the flood of GMV. They don't need to know the levers that you pulled to make that GMV happen. Consumers are going to see it as real reviews. It is authentic and it looks authentic because they are real purchases. This is also a great logistics test. Highly recommend, please do test orders yourself before you do Celico, but this will make sure that your shop is prepared at scale. And what I mean by that is that you're able to ship the 30 orders on time. You're able to make sure that your warehouse knows what they're shipping to if you're fulfilling yourself. It's just like a great larger scale test ahead of the flood of normal consumers that are going to come through post Blitz for you.
Awesome.
So super straightforward in terms of how it works. You provide the TikTok shop link to Celico. They're going to organize the consumers. They're going to be US based. Typically, we see them stagger this out, so you'll get 10 orders a day until you reach that 50. So just prepare yourself for that it won't all happen in one day. The transactions will purchase at full price. You don't have to worry about giving a discount code or anything of that nature. They're going to get tracking for their orders. They'll be delivered. You will be able to see through the Celico dashboard how many have landed. Are there any delays? Celico is going to handle all of the effort of chasing people, making sure that these orders actually happen. That is on them. So you guys are hands off post setting up. And then the result is, as soon as the products are delivered, you'll start receiving those reviews, and the process of actually getting your shop score set up is automated. So you'll typically see this in roughly 3 days, being the max business days. I will stress that, from TikTok Shop to confirm that they've been delivered and then approve your shop score. So all in all, within 2 weeks of starting Celico, you should have those orders and you should have your shop score. So I have to talk about these other options that are available, because these are the other options that brands that we work with always ask about regardless of size. Celico is our #1 quick, hands-free, guaranteed method that is also very cost effective. There are some more manual alternatives, the first one being creator reimbursement. If you have trusted creators that you're already working with, you've built your own community, you can have them purchase the product and then you can reimburse them. Couple of things here. It can be quick if the community exists, if you trust them. And when I mean trust them, I mean trust them that they're going to purchase the product and that you're going to reimburse them. But primarily it needs to be they need to purchase the product. If you organize this and you have a bunch of yeses from people, you might ship out 30 products. If only 20 of them actually go forward with this, you're still not going to have enough orders. So it can be quick. The cons, it is highly manual. You are going to have to dedicate someone on your team to communicating with them, chasing them, organizing the samples. It is a very manual process. The last one that I never recommend to anybody is friends and family. If you have friends and family in the States, oftentimes, and if you come from a D2C background, you've probably asked friends and family to do this on your regular like Shopify site. You can ask them to do the same thing. Hey, purchase my product, leave a review, I'll reimburse you. Not recommended for scale for a number of reasons. It's slow, it's tedious, and it might put you in a bad position with your friends and family if you're constantly chasing them to purchase your product. And it really is difficult to organize that and have everything happen all at one time so you can get out of ShopPriz and get those 30 orders as quick as possible. So I just want to stress there are other options. I wouldn't consider them as being fast or efficient.
Completely agree. And TikTok has given the blessing to Celico.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing here. So
100%. Protecting your shop score through fulfillment. So we talked about how you get your shop score. We've talked about a couple of different things very briefly that will negatively impact your shop score. The first one is going to be shipping. You want your shipping for TikTok, all orders to be shipped within 3 days. I know there was a couple of comments of orders being delayed because of a snowstorm. So that can happen, but you want your goal to be fast, quick shipping every single time.
Is there a way to recover? Because that was a good question to kind of answer right now. Like score currently being 4.3 because of the delayed shipping. How does Sarah correct that now?
Yeah, great question. Two options here. Again, if you have a rep, always go to your rep first. The second thing that you can do is you can adjust your shipping timelines in the back end. If you know that it's going to take you longer than that, if there's snowstorms, if you're going through a warehouse change, you are able to change that in the back end of your seller center to adjust the time frame there. Just so that way they know, your consumers know. I would also recommend messaging your customers and just letting them know that like, hey, there's a giant polar vortex or whatever the case might be. Expect your order to take 2 extra days. That's not going to help you on the shipping front from the TikTok's perspective, but it is going to help you get out of that negative review bomb that is likely to happen. So if you know your orders are going to be arriving late, please message your customers, let them know. It is well worth the message, especially if it stops them from leaving a negative review. So something that if you saw any of the posts happening this morning, TikTok Shop is backtracking from its initial plan of enforcing fulfilled by TikTok and the deadlines that they had set there. They are going to continue allowing seller shipping to take place. However, if you do switch to FBT or fulfilled by TikTok, you aren't going to have to worry about those shipping timelines. So that is something that if you haven't been looking to make the shift yet, it might still be beneficial for you. Inventory management, also incredibly important. So like using sync tools to prevent seller fault cancellations. So you might have a viral video, you might have an influx of demand on a product that maybe you weren't anticipating, and you run out of inventory and you have to start canceling orders. You don't want to be in that position. So first, making sure that you have enough inventory or that you have enough inventory on the products that you're pushing, super, super important, and making sure that you know what levels are currently happening day by day. Super important on that front. The other thing here, and this ties directly into your question previously, is the safety valve. So like extending dispatch deadlines in Seller Center if capacity is limited. So if you know, hey, it's going to be late, something is happening, just doing that in the back end will set you up for success. Yeah. All right, I'm sorry, I was just seeing if there was any questions in the chat on that one. This one, incredibly important. Customer service is the number one place that we see a lot of brands fall down, especially through the sort of blitz phase and in the initial days. You might not have a lot of sales happening organically. You might not have a lot of messages coming through organically. It's easy to get lax and complacent and not want to assign a team member to be monitoring messages constantly. In the first few weeks, the message volume is going to be low. But as those sales pick up, the snowball is going to happen. You are going to start getting an influx of those. But it is important that you have those resources monitoring at all times anyways. So like periodically checking in every couple of hours is going to be beneficial. If a single customer message slips through, it can have a disproportionate effect on the shop score. I used an example previously of a negative review coming in on a Saturday and by Monday tanking the shop score by like 2 points. That is an exaggeration. It's literally one review that slipped through the cracks because customer service wasn't working on the weekend. So making sure adequate coverage, someone on your team, someone is checking in, very important. The defensive tactics here, TikTok recommends like having a strict 24-hour response rate. I am a firm believer that if you can have a response rate within an hour to 3 hours, that is going to be more beneficial for you, as you're going to be able to communicate with customers and make sure that if they have a question, it doesn't go unanswered and turn into a negative review. People are always a lot more inclined to leave a negative review than a positive review, and people want to make sure that they're taken care of quickly. In their mind, they are the most number one important person for you in that moment, and it's important that they are being treated as such and getting answers in timely fashion.
Automation. Brian, Sarah asks, do they send an email when a message comes in?
Ooh, great question. So typically your messages are going to come in through like DM. There are now email options to communicate with your customers through your seller center. That was rolled out for all brands approximately 2 weeks ago. But you are going to see that come through and you'll get a little notification in your seller center that you have a new message that needs to be answered. One thing that I do recommend, especially once that snowball happens, making sure that you're using all of the automation tools to make sure that if messages come through, there can be auto replies. If you have a lot of questions that come in asking the same thing, so if 9 out of 10 messages coming in says, oh, hey, is this gluten-free? You can have an automated FAQ that pops up. So that way people get a level of service that doesn't necessarily require a full-time person. Just routing, we all are connected to our phones at this point in time. If for whatever reason you yourself or your team is not able to enter Seller Center on like a daily basis, making sure those notifications get routed so that way the team member or yourself gets an email, you get a notification saying, hey, you have a new inquiry. Especially through the weekends, nobody wants to be tied to their desk. But again, important that even during non-business hours, those messages get attended to.
Totally. This is something where like I would definitely create some automation around it, whether that's like your customer service platform, maybe you've already set up ClaudeBot or OpenClaw. That this is like one of those things like just to have constantly making sure that you are responding in some sort of way, whether it's you or somebody else. But it's very important. And again, it's a good thing, right? Like Amazon and TikTok Shop, like these are good things because they're all out there. Right. So, yeah.
And this one, again, goes back to the other maybe not super sexy topic that we covered last time. And it goes back to like the image stack and making sure that you're accurately showing your product and explaining what your product does. Getting in front of negative feedback. Most times someone leaves a negative review, you're going to probably see, oh, it's not like it was shown, not as described. If you're used to Amazon, that's like the number one review that you're probably going to see in the negative reviews on products. Get in front of that by making sure, am I showing what my product actually looks like? Am I doing a good job explaining what it does? Am I making sure in the description that I'm answering any potential questions that might come from this? Super important for that. The one type of product that I would say this is also incredibly important for, and that I don't see a lot of brands doing exceptionally well, if you have a consumable product, taste is subjective. So if you have different flavor profiles or something, for instance, maybe it's incredibly healthy for you, it has amazing benefits, it doesn't taste the greatest, doing an accurate job of explaining the flavor profile and having reviews that demonstrate the flavor profile, just so that way people understand, oh, should I get the pink lemonade or should I get the, lemon lime? Well, lemon lime is sweeter and tastes like a summer morning. Whatever the case might be, just get in front of that and make sure that you're utilizing that in a little bit more of a proactive way. That was a very specific example, but it's every time I see a consumable, the ones that do really well and don't have the negative reviews, they're the ones that accurately explain how it tastes. So, final wrap up here on the get out jail checklist, and then we'll go fully into Q&A. Step 1, the offensive, the unlock. So getting those 30 verified orders, have them be delivered, and using Sellico Launchpad or manual reimbursement. Again, Sellico is going to be what my recommendation is. Get those first 30 orders, get your shop score, have that established. And then defensive, audit fulfillment, like make sure the dispatch is happening within those 3 days. Consider moving to FBT if for whatever reason shipping from your own warehouse or wherever you're currently shipping from is not able to service that level of speed. Step 3, the maintenance checklist. Check the inbox daily, configure the auto replies, make sure that there's a 24-hour response time and that there's coverage on weekends. Once you have that shop score, again, the offensive, you want to keep it. And once you have it, it's easier to continue growing from there.
Awesome.
So,
thanks, Bradwin. We've got a bunch of questions. We'll try and get to them.
I'll stop sharing my screen so I can see people again.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Yes, we've got a bunch of questions that we're going to go through here live right now. Thanks, everyone, for waiting. Let's just go. I'm going to go all the way to the top here. Let me just make sure these are a couple of them here. Are we allowed to run a shop from Canada? I will take that one. Yes, you can run a shop from Canada. You do need, though, to be in US TikTok shop, you are going to need somebody to provide a US passport. And you will also need an EIN. Very simple to get through Stripe, just so you guys have an understanding. Very, very simple to get through Stripe. Through their Atlas program. So if you do that, I think it's like $500. You get an EIN, you get all of the stuff taken care of that you need to. So that is one that is getting a lot simpler these days. And again, you just need somebody in the States to be able to provide a passport and ID. Anything to add there, Brywen?
Yeah, you are going to have to submit them as your US representative for the brand. So make sure that it's somebody that you trust and is going to be able to answer questions, because they are going to have to verify their identity. They are going to get messages from TikTok. So making sure that it's somebody that you trust, that you're in communication with, and that is going to be able to answer questions on your behalf if asked from TikTok.
So Hassan has asked a bunch of different questions. I don't understand the questions. If you could put those through AI potentially, I don't understand the question. So there's a bunch of them there. Yeah. So if you could just make the question a little bit simpler to ask, I would love to answer those. Yeah, Sarah, your your orders will be fulfilled by a fulfillment center. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Do questions need to be answered on the weekends? Brywen?
Yes. TikTok Shop does not care if it is weekends or business hours. That 24-hour response time is every day. So again, setting up those automations, super, super important. If you want to allocate resources so you have customer service who's answering other inquiries for you, that is working Monday through Friday, then just making sure that they're checking in there and having the automations handle everything else on the weekends and all of the spillover, super, super important there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, with bot, I'm just gonna chime in on Bob. You said like the bots can sound like bots, and people aren't going to be happy with that. Yes, make sure that the answers that you feed it for the automations sound like they're from your brand. That actually capture the same thing that you would want a human representative to say. That is very, very important. So like make sure that that is dialed in, or else you're going to be raging like the Amazon chatbots of like 2 years ago. Yeah, good call out, Bob.
Let's do Sarah's question here. So this question might have been more suited for the mastermind, but I will try here. I've been on TikTok Shop for almost a year, just posting myself. Have sold 95 units so far. What is the best way to scale? I know it's very general. Yes. That, you know what, Sarah, that's a really big question. If you are in either, I mean, it's just such a like massively big question, right? Like, okay, well, you've tried these certain things. Probably best for if you're in the Slack group to go in there and we'll break that down. There's a lot of YouTube videos as well that I've made that are all about answering those specific questions because number one, if you're just posting on your own, there's probably some content issues that you might not be seeing. If you've only sold 95 items so far, I would say that it's a content issue. If we look at like where the constraint is in scaling on TikTok Shop, it is in content. And a lot of brands that have tried that, you know, been Amazon brands or D2C brands, they don't understand the kind of content that actually works and the scale of content to get to virality. And so I think that's the really, really big thing. So yes, Hassan, this will be my last thing here. You can find me on LinkedIn or Twitter. Very simple to find me on both those platforms. So if you find me over there, we can talk there. Brian, you want to tackle Bob's questions here?
Yeah, so you have 7 to 10 creators that you want to move into monthly retainers with. What should we expect to get for, $100, $200, $300, etc.? The first number one question is going to be what is the size of these creators? Because what you offer is going to be the starting point. So like, are they already generating GMV for you? What is your goal from getting them on retainers? Is it to have more content that they produce for you? Is it to make specific types of content that you're then able to use on other platforms? There's a couple of factors at play. At all times, if they're generating GMV and they're consistently driving those sales, before moving directly into a retainer, I always recommend having a special higher commission for them, for your VIPs, to incentivize them from that perspective. If you're looking for pure retainers to get just like volume of content, especially content that you can use elsewhere, depending on what they're driving for you, for $100, that might get you like 3 to 5 pieces of content from a smaller creator versus a larger creator that consistently drives excellent GMV. You're probably going to be looking at more of like $1,000 for 5 to 10 posts a month. It's just going to be dependent on where they are and what the purpose of that content is for you.
And if they're making more money for you, they're going to be less apt to want a retainer. But some of those big creators still want retainers. We try not to offer retainers to too many people. We'd rather pour that money into contests, which is something that we should probably do a full session on at some point as well, Brian.
Yep. It's, well, you and I will talk about what I want to cover next week, because it does tie in with that, actually. So definitely come to the next episode, guys. A little plug there. Yeah, with that, like higher commissions, incentivize them that way. Retainers gets you locked in and isn't going to necessarily incentivize them long term, or connect to their performance. So just something to consider there.
Awesome. Guys, thanks for all of the great questions. We are going to cap it there. We will see you guys on the next one. If you guys are not in the new mastermind, I will drop the link within school. I'll also drop it on Twitter and LinkedIn as well if you guys have not seen it there, or you can reach out there to get a little bit of a higher touch than these. We're going to continue to do these weekly calls for the general public as well, because a lot of people like to come on here. So and learn all things TikTok Shop. So thank you, Brywin. You're great. And thanks everyone for coming.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks, Sarah. See ya.